Hope you guys are doing awesome today. Let's see. Here we go. I think we are live. If you are joining me, hello. I am streaming live via Facebook page, Calculated Profits, also in my Facebook group and on my YouTube channel. So I am so glad for all of you who are here. If you are joining me, please hashtag live. And if you are joining me via the replay, if you will also hashtag replay for me, that would be amazing. And again, I am checking my phone because it's not really sure if we're live or not here. Awesome. There we go. All right. So today's session is all about pricing. So all about pricing. And this is a biggie because, guys, in order to make money, your pricing has to be right so that your profits are there, right? If your pricing is too low, and I'm seeing it way too often, it is detrimental to your profits. And that is why you are in business, is to make profits. If you are new to the group, to the page, or to the YouTube, my name is Stephanie Manley. I am a proactive bookkeeper and virtual CFO with Calculated Profits. So I'm here to help you, give you some strategies on profits so that hopefully you can decrease your stress, which normally comes with business finances, and increase your profits. So we're going to just dive into this really quick. So to begin with, I want to tell you that I see a lot of people who come to me and I see them in groups on Facebook and their pricing is low and they're not really sure why they're pricing this low. And I want to give you 3 indicators that your pricing may be a little low. And the first thing is that your customers are surprised when they visit your website and they see that what your prices are. They're like, wow, your prices are, really low. Or you send them that proposal and they just jump on it really quickly because you're so underpricing things. So that is one thing. So if your customers are typically surprised that your pricing is so low, that's an indicator to you that maybe they are a little low. The other thing that I want to just point out is your gut. So you have that gut feeling that you're probably not pricing enough or pricing high enough. And I will tell you that if I have learned anything being in business for the last 11 years is that your gut usually does not lie to you. Okay. So being an entrepreneur, we just have that feeling inside sometimes when things are not right or when things are right. I know my business coach asks me all the time, like, so what's your gut tell you? Do a gut check. If you're not sure, do a gut check. And I want you to do that with your pricing. And the third indicator is, and this is a biggie, is that you're barely making any profit, or maybe you're not making a profit at all. Okay, so those are 3 of the most common indicators that your prices are low and it's time to reevaluate. And guys, if you're not reevaluating your prices at least once a year, you're leaving money on the table because our market is so fickle and it changes so much. It's very important that you go back and you reevaluate things. Okay. So there's 3 ways that I commonly see people doing pricing. Well, the first common way, not even on my list here, is that you're just randomly picking a number. Okay, so you're selling a website, you do website design, and you just go, okay, $500. Okay, you have no reason why you came up with that number. A number popped in your head, and that's what I'm going with. Okay, that's not a good strategy. You should not run your business just on a whim. Okay, so one of the things that I see people doing is competition-based pricing. So you go to your competitors, and you're seeing that they price the product, which is very similar to yours, or the same as yours, for X amount. So you either say, okay, I'm going to go in line with that competition, or I'm going to undercut the competition just a little bit. And that's also possible. Okay. So that is a way that I see a lot of people pricing their stuff. And that's okay, but to me, it's not the best way. Okay. The next way is value pricing. Value pricing simply means that I feel that my value on this service is X amount of dollars. So that's what I'm going to price it as. The problem that I see with value pricing is that most entrepreneurs do not value their services high enough. Therefore, their prices are too low. Okay. And hello, I see a couple people popping on my Facebook group. So if you are here, say hello, hashtag live for me. That would be awesome. And we are streaming StreamYard as a reminder. So you have to pop that in the bottom as well. All right. So value pricing. Most entrepreneurs do not value their services enough to price them high enough. Okay. Most of us, including me, suffer from imposter syndrome, which means we don't feel like we're good enough to price our services at the point that they should be. Okay. So again, value pricing is okay, but again, it's not my favorite. And the third common way is time-based pricing, which simply means I worked on the project for X amount of hours and I'm going to charge X amount an hour. Okay. So again, I'm going back to website design. I take 3 hours to design my client's website. I'm going to value my pricing at $50 times 3. So I'm going to charge them $150 for a website. We both know that it should be more than that, right? So time-based pricing is also not all that good. My favorite strategy when you guys are figuring out your pricing is part of profit planning, right? You're in business to make money. Yes, I know most of you are very passionate about what you do, and that's extremely important as well. But guys, we don't put in the hours that we put in not to make money, not to benefit ourselves and benefit our families. So it's important that you profit plan. And this is all part of profit strategies. Okay. So let me tell you how to begin to do that. The first thing that you need to do is you need to know 3 specific numbers. The first number you need to know is profit. We're going to go into these. The second is fixed cost. And the third are your variable costs. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Your profit in this equation is going to be the amount of money that you need to bring into your home out of your business. Okay. So after everything is said and done, you brought in your revenue, you paid all of your expenses. What is left is going to be profit. It doesn't mean you have to take all of that and put it into your personal household, but you can. I don't recommend it, but you can. So your profit in this equation is going to be how much do you realistically need to pay your personal bills? That's going to be your house payment or your house rent. It's going to be your car payment, your health insurance, maybe your medical bills, your utilities, your home insurance, eating out, all those things. You need to know what is that number. Okay. I find most entrepreneurs don't have a clue what that number is, but it's extremely important that you know that number. And that's where budgeting comes in. Okay. So we're going to pretend we know that number. The second thing listed here is your fixed cost. Fixed costs in business are items that never change. Okay. And if they do, they go up and down just a little bit. Okay. So examples of fixed costs are your office rent, your insurance, your utilities. Okay, those are fixed costs. They don't change. They're the same pretty much every single month. Okay, there's no variables to them. And then we have variable cost. Your variable costs are going to be those items that vary depending on if you have sales. Okay, so your fixed costs are going to be there whether you sell something this month or not. You still have to pay those bills. Whereas your variable costs are only going to be there if you have an item that you're selling or that you sell. Back to web design is my example for this equation here. So if I'm a web designer, maybe I hire an assistant to help me only when I sell a website. So that's going to be a variable cost because I don't pay them unless I have a sale. Okay. Or maybe I have an item that I'm selling. Okay. Maybe you sell, I don't know, maybe you crochet baby blankets. Okay, my mother is on a baby blanket crocheting kick right now. So we'll say that you crochet baby blankets and you only buy yarn for that baby blanket when you get a sale. So that yarn is now a variable cost, right? Depending on how much or how big the blanket is. That's going to be variable. You wouldn't have bought it had you not had a sale. Okay. So profit is what you need to bring home to pay your personal bills. Fixed costs is going to be things that never change. You're going to have to pay them whether you have sales or not. And then variable costs, you're only going to have if you have a sale. Okay. I'm going to jump over and see if we have some comments here. Awesome. Yes. So someone asked, the service isn't strong where they are. Is there a replay? Absolutely. There's a replay. Definitely going to be a replay. Yes. Thank you. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to pop over. I'm going to try to share my screen here. See if this is going to work right. And I want to show you an example of what this means. How do you even put this equation into action? So I am going to pop over here and I'm going to share my screen. So here we go. All right. I'm going to share this screen and then I'm going to show you. Perfect. So I'm going to show you this and I'm going to jump over to my phone really fast to make sure that you are seeing what you're supposed to be seeing. So that helps a lot. Gotcha. And if you are if you're on here live, that would be amazing if you could tell me, yes, I can see your spreadsheet. That would be great too. Awesome. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm so sorry. I just really want you to make sure you can see this. And of course, I have to go through 100 things just to find where I need to be. Okay, awesome. So I can see this on my screen now. So that is amazing. All right. So again, the 3 numbers, profit, fixed, and your variable cost. So the very first thing here is profit. So in my example, again, I'm going back, I'm a web designer. So I have figured out my budget and I know that my business has to profit $3,000 per month for me to pay my personal bills. Okay, so that's where that comes in. Now, Uncle Sam always wants his share, correct? You can't get out of paying Uncle Sam. It's just the way it is. And I tell my clients all the time to set aside 30% of profit, not revenue, profit. Okay. And remember, just because you don't take it out of the business does not mean it's not profit. So revenue minus expenses equals profit. Okay, so the $900 is 30% of the $3,000 profit that I made this month. Okay, I know that my fixed costs are $1,500. I know my rent's $1,000. I have insurance that's $200, and then my utilities were $300. Okay, so fixed costs, whether I make a sale or not this month, I know that I have to make the $1,500 plus the $3,000. Plus Uncle Sam wants his $900. So I know for this month, I have to make $5,400. Okay. So then now that we know how much I have to make, and notice we're going backwards, right? We didn't start with the cost and work down. We worked from the end and worked backwards, and that's profit planning. So typically right now, and I'm just looking at numbers here, typically I charge $1,900 for a website. Okay. And I know for every website that I get a sale for, I use my assistant and she charges me $50 an hour. And I usually use her for 2 hours for every website. Again, that's a variable cost. Okay. So I'm going to collect $1,900 from my client and I'm going to pay my assistant $100. Okay. So on that website, I'm going to make $1,800. We're not thinking about fixed. We're only thinking about variable. I'm going to make $1,800. Okay. So if this is the only product, and if you only have one product, this is super simple, but most of us don't. We're diversified. We have all kinds of products and services. So that's when it comes a little tricky. So I know that one website is going to net me $1,800. I know that I need $5,400 in revenue per month. So we do the math. So how much I need divided by the net amount that I'm going to receive for this service. And I know now that I need 3 website sales a month. Super simple, right? So that's the first step in this process. So I'm going to unshare my screen here and come back to you. So now that I know exactly how many of this service that I need to produce this month, then I got to ask myself, can I do that? Right? Can I actually pull this off? Can I do 3 websites a month? Well, yeah, I think I can do 3 websites a month, right? So then I'm good to go. But what happens when that number is too high? Or what happens when that number is too low? Well, if the number is too high, that means maybe my pricing's too low, right? So if my pricing is too low, then I have to do more of them in order to get the amount of money that I need at the end of the month. Okay. If it's too high, too low, then maybe my pricing is too high. Okay. There's all these different things that you have to take into consideration. Okay. And if you have to do more and you don't want to raise your price, then you have to think, well, if I have to do more, then I have to hire more assistants, or maybe I need to spend more in advertising to get more people in the door to do these products. And then all these costs start coming around, right? Well, the problem happens here when people just don't do their books. Okay. So this was a simple equation on your pricing, but then it gets so much more complicated than that. Okay. If you want to add and delete and add advertising and add virtual assistants and all these things, you really need to know what's happening in your business finances. You need to know your numbers, guys. Okay. And I see so often that that's not happening. You realize that your finances are not fun. Okay. And I say this a lot because numbers, I mean, to me, they're fun, but for most people, they're just not fun, right? They're not sexy at all. So we spend our time developing new products. We spend our time doing the things that we like to do, networking with clients, doing the work that we enjoy. And we put our finances on the back burner. I see that happening time and time again. Okay. We're in October, and I'm also a tax accountant. So I'm finishing up tax returns for people who've just waited until the last minute. Tomorrow is the deadline to do their returns. And 90% of these clients are self-employed. They're small businesses. Okay. And they're small businesses that did not keep up with their bookkeeping all year long. So they come to me typically the end of September and go, oh no, I have 2 weeks to do my taxes. Can you help me? Here's my bank statements. Please do whatever you can to get my taxes done. Okay. I've been in this business for over 25 years, and it happens year after year after year. And it's typically the same ones. Okay. And what happens is, yes, we do their books. Yes, they're in compliance. They get their tax return done on time. But most of them either owe money that they shouldn't owe because they could have made changes throughout the year, but they waited too late. Okay. Or they realize when we do their taxes that they made no money. And so having those numbers in October of 2021 doesn't help them in 2020. Okay. So you really need to be real time doing your books. You need to be in them every week, at least every month, going in, seeing what your profit margins are, to see where you're spending your money. Guarantee you, if you're not in your books, you have money leaks. Okay. And if you haven't seen that, I have a live on that too. But essentially, money leaks is expenses just rolling out. You have no clue that they're even going. Okay. It could be subscriptions that you never use. It could be payroll dollars that are way too high. Okay. Lots of things. So I beg you to please do your books on a regular basis, guys. And if it's not us that helps you, we do bookkeeping for small businesses, S Corp, C Corps, all the way down. And if it's not us, I beg you to please find somebody out there to do your books for you on a regular basis, not all at one time to do your taxes. And I encourage you, if you are looking for an accountant, looking for a bookkeeper, that you vet them. That means that you go through and you talk to them. You ask them all the questions, right? You want to know, how long have they been doing this? That you want to ask them, have they done books for your type of business? Because that's important as well. And then you want to mesh with them. I look at a bookkeeper like your doctor, right? You want to be able to sit down with your bookkeeper and just chit chat with them, ask them all the hard questions, and be able to take feedback from them and actually use that feedback to help you in your business. That's what they're there for. They're not there just to throw you a profit and loss every month and say, here you go, figure it out. Okay. You need a proactive bookkeeper that will help you. Okay. So if you would like to talk with us about it, I'd love to talk to you. Set up a consult with me. It doesn't talk up. I can't talk today. It doesn't cost you a dime to sit on a phone call with me just to chit chat about your business. Let's see where your books are and see where I can help you. If you don't jive with me, and that's okay, then I just encourage you to go look for a bookkeeper. All right. So guys, you can visit my website. The very tip top, it actually says to book a consultation. And I would love to talk to you about your bookkeeping. So let's get your pricing in order so that you can finish out 2021. We're in the last quarter, guys. We're almost to the end. Finish out your 2021 on a positive note and be ready to start 2022 with your pricing in line so that 2022 can be your best year yet. Guys, thank you so much for joining us or joining me today on my live. If you have any questions, don't ever hesitate to pop them in the comments. Shoot me a DM. I answer every single DM that I get, and I answer every single message that's in this group. So if you'll just send me a message or set up that free consultation. Hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day and a great weekend. Thanks, guys.